for the programming is relentless. The controllers program the personal vehicles and limit them lifetime after lifetime to the extent that individuals see less and less, and programmed more to what the controllers want them to see or not to see. A continued restriction and a diminishing to the point to where we are now. Everyone is physical, astral, predominantly, and heavily literalized, locked into the one-dimensional 5 senses, and marketed into believing and hoping and perceiving a world and heavenly astral worlds that are anything but if they had real awareness eyes to see. The indoctrination kicks in at an earlier age than ever before, as children are educated far earlier and more extensively than in previous eras, and the programming far more invasive, with all the technologies that are marketed to the multitudes. Children are subjected to technological black magic distortion from the moment they emerge into this world. A cell phone thrust into their hands before they can barely walk. And so it's little wonder that, yes, children have a clean connection to their real awareness, and they will have amazing experiences on the real side, but they do drag the programming with them from previous lifetimes. That is a limiting factor, and in this lifetime, the bombardment of technology will lock them into their personal selves far swifter than ever before, even before they reach their programming schooling centers. And it was demonstrated here with all these children who could not see this fortress for the nightmarish place that it was. They could only see the programmed and agreed upon surface that has been installed over millions of lifetimes, and reinforced yet again, and made more so through technologies. For not only were the manipulated scenes very troubling if actually seen by a child, but the relatively tame monsters and situations I record now from my own childhood experiences in this fortress were nothing of the kind. The scenes were horrific, creatures slaying each other, individuals stabbing each other to death, blood and gore everywhere. At one point, a succession of individuals would be butchered, then fed to a monster that looked like a huge, malformed head. And this was only the first section, the section that was for the younger people, aged from 5 to 6 or so. Gary, my brother, who at the time I would have been in this section, being older, was in the second section, designed for ages 7 and 8, and he would go on to describe what happened in that part of the fortress. Unfortunately, I would not recollect his words, nor was shown that part of the fortress, so perhaps a step at a time, and I may be shown more in a future experience. It's my impression then that children do suffer abuse in this way, at these age groups, and perhaps in great numbers, maybe even all children, who can say? But it seems that they are taken to these forbidding places on the real side by the dark forces, and subjected to these torments, and although they are unable to perceive them as they actually are, and recollect them as being that bad, the other aspects of their personal selves will be enduring it all. It's as though the controllers wish to embed subconscious fear into the children this way, that it is not consciously recollected or considered, yet it will bury itself in the unconscious parts of them, and add to the fear that is the main tool of manipulation that the controllers utilize. It is fear that keeps everyone acquiescing and agreeable to the controllers each lifetime around, and it seems then that the controllers are enhancing this fear more so through such methods. Traumatizing situations like those portrayed in the fortress may even be such that a child may well blank out the experience anyway. The censor may conceal it from coming to conscious light to protect the individual, so an overlaying and more tame version of events may be seen on the surface, coupled with the programming of the personal self that has us all seeing a world and the other levels of creation that appear at odds with how they actually are, the la land heavens of man, etc. A world seen this way through agreement to those that can program us to see the simulator as something it actually isn't. For with real awareness and on the real side, an individual can see the simulator as it really is, a dark, murky slime pit, and not how it's marketed and agreed to be. The earth looking like a black, dark ball in space from the real side, as an example, that humans on the physical level, through their programmed personal selves, can't see. But everything shows up eventually, and soon no amount of personal vehicle programming can conceal what's taking place. A simulator implosion would be rather apparent, I feel, and incidentally, I was only able to see the horrors of the first section. I just wonder what went on in the next section. Something just as bad, if the first section was anything to go by. Probably even worse. I have my suspicions, and most people can probably imagine what fate befell the children there in the second section, as we know how the reptilians and their twisted cabal minions like to eat and abuse children in all the various ways that they do.
I'm sure you're scaring the heck out of a lot of people, but that's okay. This is what we do. We bother people. But this is the real world now, and it's all about a huge wake-up, and we have the privilege of taking part in this every moment. Yeah, that's just terrific. Thank you so much.
Thank you for listening to this video, and if you want to hear more, subscribe to my channel to find further recordings and to keep you updated with all the latest new presentation videos. Dwayne, the great writer, is making himself available for those who want to know more and see more and be more than just having another ordinary, unaware life on this purposely poisoned planet. Create your new session with Dwayne the Great Writer and discuss any topic you like. Here are some examples to discuss: personal, financial, relationships, dreamers, government, 5G, GMO, chemtrails, vaccines, HARP, military, secret service, spying, subliminal taplining, conspiracy, angels, gods, fairies, ghosts, aliens, reptilians, religious, spiritual, governments, monarchy, and anything that pertains to what you are experiencing in this creation bubble, and also the real universes of real freedom. Learn to get your own answers. New sessions start at 30 minutes at $1, $1 into PayPal a minute, and can be as much time as needed. And yes, the way Dwayne writes his new words refers to something more than what is known here, and this is where you decide to recognize what is real now with all life, or continue on as you have, with just another personal life in an aging body form. Contact Kevin Smith UK and Dean Val USA on Facebook and YouTube. Additionally, an official new presentation club is now available. The New Awareness Club. Membership to which is $1 per month through PayPal. Click on the New Awareness website link below the description of this video, and from there navigate to the forum site and register there, which serves as a home base for the club.